Hello from London.
Virginia.
And
from Indiana.
Yes, welcome to Wicked Women. It's Sunday, it's 10 o'clock in London, which means it's definitely Wicked Women in London, Virginia, and Indiana today. You're supposed to go, yes, it is.
It's time.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's time. And obviously this is the subject tonight. I want to wish, I've just got to put the glasses on because I can't see everybody. Want to welcome everybody that's come to join us in the chat room. Hello, Carlene, and hello, Sandra. I can't see all of them, but I'll take this off for a second. Want to welcome everyone today. We actually didn't know if there was going to be a Wicked Women today. We were all a little bit, but you know, we're here, we're live, and we're kicking ass, and that's all that we need to worry about. How are my lovely girls? How are you doing, Val?
I'm tired. I've been working on a lot of orders, but other than that, I'm doing good.
And Carly?
Oh, you know, I'm just getting sick, so I've been better.
That's not good. What's causing it? Is it like a cold or virus?
Yeah, it seems like a sinus infection.
There's a lot of it going around. The weather can't make its mind up, and it's making so many people sick. One minute it's pouring with rain, the next minute it's really nice, and I know it can cause a lot of illnesses.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not helping.
It's not. And do you know what? I mean, when you've got a weakened immune system anyway, you've got enough to deal with without having that on top. We're three of us this weekend. Not all the Wicked Women won't always be here. All of us won't always be here, but there's three of us, and you've got three to play with. What more do you want? Two blondes and a redhead. So today's subject is time. The invisible enemy. And you know, it's a really difficult subject, time, because we all, when we're born with a particular amount in the sand, you know, the sand jar, and it starts to come down as the years go past. We all waste it. We all think we've got limited time or unlimited time. And sometimes we look back on our lives and we go, why the hell did we give all those years to that? And I think that we need to all look at our lives and realize that time is incredibly precious. And we're only here for a very, very short time on this planet, and we need to make the most of it. And Val, I mean, you know, what's your views? I mean, has this come to play more a part in your life as we start to get older?
Oh, absolutely. I think the older, you know, when you're a teenager, you can't wait to grow up, become an adult. Then, you know, once you're an adult, it seems like forever. You know, when you're 20 years old or 21, it seems like 50 is like ancient. And then when you're 50, you think, wow, I wish I had all those, all those years back, knowing what I know now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cruel in a way because, you learn so much through those years. And if you had done them different, your life would have been very different. But you don't learn those lessons till you get older. And it's too late to go back. So it's kind of cruel that way. But when you're in your 20s, you think you've got, life by the tail. And when you get older, you realize, wow, there's so many things that I should have done, and I wasted those days or years. And I wish I'd done things differently.
It's kind of like that film, Carly, isn't it? Benjamin Button, where he starts off really old as a baby and gets super young when he's young. I mean, for you, do you feel like time is pressing on you, or is that not there yet?
Oh yeah, I constantly feel like time is pressing with me, especially since having my daughter with her medical complexities and special needs. It's like being a nurse on the clock 24/7. So time is everything to me now. Any second that I can get downtime, I cherish and want to do enjoying things and not spent doing things that I don't want to enjoy. And it's hard because you have to do time management and manage between all of the things. And I'm not quite sure exactly how we're leading with this subject, but into who we give that time to and how much we allot to them. Because
Yeah, you're right. Because I think what you and Val are both sort of saying, that when we were younger, you think being in your 40s and 50s, etc., using that as an example, is ages away. It's ages away. I'm only, we always want to be older when we're young. I want to be 18. I want to be 21. I want to go to the club. I want to go to the pub. I can go out. I can drive. I want more money. I don't want to be told what to do by my parents. I want to go out and do it. And all of a sudden, creep in by fast these days. You're suddenly paying bills, having a job. And, you're having to be the adult. You're a mum and you're a wife and whatever. And you're like, we've lost, we all of a sudden we've got all these new roles, Carly. And do you feel like somewhere along the way you lost part of you?
Oh, man. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Becoming a mother was the best and biggest blessing of my life, but it definitely caused me to lose a part of myself. With all of her extra needs and everything, it's like being a mom times 5.
Yeah.
And I definitely lost myself. I'm not able to go out like I used to. I'm not able to enjoy the hobbies like I used to. A lot of the times I'm just so exhausted. My illnesses have just been getting worse as the time has gone by too. So that plays a factor into everything. And a lot of times I'm just too exhausted to do anything by the time I'm done with the adulting.
And I understand that, because I'm sure Val will as well. And I'll come to Val, because literally when you have chronic illness, you are so angry sometimes because there's so much you want to do with your life and there's so much you want to achieve, and your body slows you down and you can't do it. And you're desperate, I want to do this, and you can't. And I find that every time I get ill now, I get, oh God, how long is this going to take me to get over? How many months or how many weeks is this going to go? And it's like, I'm wishing my life away. I'm wishing that time away till I get better. And I know, Val, with your fibromyalgia as well, like Carly and I with our conditions, you must feel that as well.
Oh, sure. I mean, there's things that, I'll sit and think, okay, I want to do, X, Y, and Z. And then I'll start to do something and my body just kind of says, you need to go sit down.
Yeah.
Because it's not, the want is there, but it's just, the older I get, the the less I can do.
But
And it's extremely frustrating.
because you want to be doing things, don't you? You want to be doing things.
Absolutely.
And you're now, oh, how many weeks is this going to do? And people say, patience. But the clock isn't stopping for us.
No.
The clock isn't going, it's all right, Carly and Wendy and Val. You can just take a couple of weeks off. Don't worry. I'm going to stop it on this date. And you can come back up. It is keeping going. And
Yeah.
everyone else's life is going forward. And
Sure.
sometimes it has felt that, I think we've all felt it with our health, that it is being held back. You know, the things we want to do are being held back by being chronically ill. And Carly, for you, it's like me, you have quite a few conditions, and Val too. And it's like, do you ever hate or dislike your body? And I'm going to ask Val that as well, like, because you think, I want to be someone else, but I'm not.
I mean, all the time because of my illnesses. Yeah, it's hard not to, but when you're sitting here and you're wanting to go for a walk and enjoy the beautiful weather outside and your body's just telling you no, you're like, if you body, you know, I want to go, but you can't, and you push yourself sometimes and you try, and then that just makes it 10 times worse always, because then you overdo it and then you end up needing to rest for even longer. So yeah, I battle with that frequently. I mean, I've been really sick for the last few months, and so I've not been able to do a lot. So I've definitely been dealing with that more and more as I've not been able to do things.
Yeah. Val?
Well, I don't necessarily hate my body as much as I hate what has happened to it over the years.
Yeah.
You know, there's some things that I can handle, no problem. If you took everything individually, I could handle it. There's certain times when there's more than one thing going on, and they all kind of impacted at the same time. And that is when I myself just get extremely frustrated and depressed because, you know, I want to do this stuff and I can't make myself do it. So it almost feels like I'm fighting against myself. You know, I'm trying to make myself do my body do these things that I want to do, and it's kind of rebelling on me.
Yes, I get that. I mean, I was ill recently, quite rough, and it was like I just thought I had no option. I'm just going to have to lie down, listen to my body, and do it. But I'm counting the days because I'm like, I need to do this. I have to be there. You know, people are relying on me, and now I'm back here again, and I feel like I let people down, and I feel like time is going past. And you know, when I was younger, I thought that I was going to be married when I was 25. I'd have the white picket fence and the dog and the kids. And, you know, it was all going to work out perfectly. It was all going to work out fabulously. It didn't work out like that. And you know, I'm now in the other half of, you know, that sort of half, you know, what am I, like in my early 50s? And it's like I've got to that point where I'm like, well, plan B.
Yeah.
Like it's coming to plan B. And then you think, I've got to make the most of this time. And then, Carly, you've got to catch us up for a bit. So you're okay, Gun. You got a couple of years. But when you're reaching that point, Val, it's scary because you think we've got less in front than we've probably got behind, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's things that I wanted to do. I did a lot, but there's certain things that I kept thinking, you know, when I have enough money, I'll do that.
Yeah.
When I feel better, I'll do that. When, you know, when the circumstance arises, I'll do that.
Yeah.
But, you know, you really have to make those things happen because they don't just happen on their own.
Yeah.
And the more I the older I get, the more I think, okay, now I understand when my parents said, if you don't go ahead and do it now, you won't.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
always thought, well, yeah, I will. I can't right now. I've never done it. So,
Yeah.
you kind of have to listen to the older generation because they've been where you're at and they know what's coming.
Because they say to you, Carly, don't they? They say, don't rush to get there. Don't rush to get there because, oh my God, it's Christmas again. Where is this year gone? It just seems to have rushed past. Do you actually find yourself saying that now, Carly?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one of the things growing up, my mom was always like, time and time again, it's going to go by faster as you grow up. And I never believed her. And I swear, as the years go by, they get even faster.
Yeah.
And you're like, slow it down. Like, if you think about it, we're in May. Come next month, longest day, June 21st, and then it's all the way going down again to winter.
Well, that's why
then,
it always cracks me up when these old people, will be talking to you and they're like, "Oh, you got plenty of time." No, you really don't.
No.
You really don't.
And that's when you look back at the relationships or the time you wasted. Now, they say nothing's wasted. It's all a good experience. It's all learning curves, yada, yada. I get all that. Actually, some of it was wasted. Perhaps 100% it was wasted on people that A, didn't deserve it, and B, I wish I could go back and change it. And
Sure.
I'm sure there's relationships, girls, that we've both all had, that we go, why the hell did I do that?
Yeah, more than one. I have to be honest.
Well, yeah, there's probably more than one as well, but
don't we think we stay with certain people because we think we can either change the situation.
Yeah.
So everything's we can change it. Everything's going to get better. It's all going to fall in line and we're going to be happy. Or, in my case, I got to a point where I stayed because I didn't think I would ever find anybody else. I would be alone from then on, which is totally stupid, but that's what your mind thinks.
Yes.
And being told that over and over didn't help either.
Carly, I mean, you actually got a lovely hubby and you've got a great relationship, which is wonderful. But before you had that, I know you had hell with some relationships. And how many years do you think you wasted? I mean, I'm going to count mine in a minute, but how many years do you think you wasted on bad men?
We're talking years? Oh, man. Probably at least a good 3 or 4.
Oh, my God. I think I've wasted more than that. Yeah.
I wish it was only 3 or 4.
Yeah. 3 or 4. I think mine is probably more like, I'm going to go 10, maybe something like that, and look back and go, well, why did I do it? Because you know what, my mum used to say to me when I was in that relationship, why are you staying? There are more than one fish out in the world. You're staying with this one relationship. He treats you like crap. You could go and get anyone just like this, but no, because you go, I love him. I've devoted all my time to this relationship. I have to stay with it. And then you realize when you walk away and you've given 4.5 years of your life, what a load of wasted time you gave to that specimen, right?
Yeah.
And I use the word specimen because absolutely they were a specimen. Val, I think you can get me on that one.
Absolutely. And I mean, I was gonna say 10 or 12.
Hands up, everybody who's done over 10 years. That would be us.
Because altogether, I didn't learn my lesson for a long time.
Just keep making the same mistake. It's like Groundhog Day. It's Groundhog Day.
Exactly.
I've been here before. And you know what? I look back and I go, it's all right. I've got plenty of time. I'm only in my late 20s. I'm only in my mid 30s. It's going to be fine. And then your 40s happen and you're like, that's okay. I'm still only early 40s. Then you start to get into your later part of your 40s and you're like, oh my God. Right. Oh my God. And now that clock's going tick. You feel it as a big clock, Carly, that's starting to boom in the background.
And that bitch gets loud the older you get.
It's like,
I mean, it's yeah.
You know,
it's I mean, there's certain things that we want to do. I think everybody has those certain things we want to do.
Colleen, 20. Wow.
I don't know about you guys, but I always feel like there's something that I am supposed to do.
Yes.
Not necessarily, okay, I want to do this and this. It's almost anxiety.
Yes.
Because it's the feeling of I'm supposed to do something, but I don't know what. And the older I get, the more I think, okay, I need to figure this out because I'm running out of time to do whatever it was I'm supposed to do.
I 100% agree. Carly, do you know that feeling?
Yeah, I constantly feel like there's more things that I need to be doing more so and things I'm supposed to be doing on top of more things. And then I just think about those things and yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, how do you figure out what it is? Because I'd like to know before I'm like too old to do it.
I think Keith comes up with a point about the soul purpose. I think we all like to think that we're here for a reason. We're here for a reason, and we are. We absolutely are. I don't believe that we're just here randomly going like headless chickens. I believe we do have a soul purpose and we're here.
Yeah.
What it is, we try. Well, they say our soul knows what our purpose is I
wish mine would speak up because
it gets we're not
killing me.
Remember, because we have to find it. That's the thing. We're not allowed to remember it. We have to find it, and that's why when we start to go in the right direction, it suddenly goes, oh, hang on a minute, everything's going great. This is where you go. And when you're on the other path and it goes to shit, you're like, oh.
So I've been on the wrong path my entire life until like good to know. Good to know.
You know, I'm starting to think that because, you know, Carly, you probably understand this as well. It's like, when the hell, I'll actually rephrase that. When the fuck is my life going to change? And when the fuck is it going to happen? Do you know what I mean?
When the fuck is it going to get better?
Yeah.
I mean, I've sat and thought and tried to think about, you know, why does everything, if it starts going good, then it falls to shit. And then anything I try to do blows up in my face.
Yep.
And okay, that apparently isn't the way I'm supposed to go. You know, a hint would be good.
Thanks, Roger. We're doomed. Life has decided it's never getting better. Isn't that the truth? I mean, I'm telling you, like when we look at everything going on, it's like life isn't getting any better and we're not getting any younger. And all of a sudden you're like, stop. Like I've been waiting. And that's the thing I wrote in my bloody promo. What are you waiting for? Why are you procrastinating? Because I've been waiting to change my life for years. And it's like this circumstance has happened or that circumstance has happened and I've not been able to do it, or I've been ill, or something's happened, you know. And I'm sitting here now going, okay, you took my dog, my house been shit. You know, I'm literally, you know, on my own 24/7 pretty much. Like, I'm ready. Like I'm in that position. Let's go. Like let's do it. Only to find that each day is the same. And it's like, I know people say, well, it's up to you to make the jump. But sometimes we all want that big hand to come out the sky and go this way.
Yeah.
You want to go that way.
Or I would settle for, when you see parents with little kids in the store and the kids are wanting to go that way and the parents are going this way and they jerk them up and take them. I would settle for that. Just, grab me by the wrist and just, you go that way.
Be around the face and go, wake up.
I mean, at this point, I'm to the point where subtlety is not working, apparently.
Carly, do you procrastinate?
Yeah. Yeah, I maybe used to say that if there was a degree in it, I would have my PhD.
Why do you think you procrastinate?
That's a good question. If I knew precisely why I did, I probably could stop doing it.
Do you find yourself doing it and going, oh God, stop it. Or do you just go, oh, I'm not ready yet? How do you treat yourself when you know you're doing it?
It depends on my mood. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, fuck, here we go again. Other times I'll be like, all right, we got to do it. And other times I'm like, I can't. Just thinking about it. I'm so anxious I can't even move forward.
I'm a procrastinator. I'm an analyzer. I'm an earth sign. I'm a Capricorn, and everything goes over and over. Like, do I do this? Do I do this? What if I do this? But what if I do that? So I'm complete like that. And in the end, I'm also very spontaneous. I can just do stuff as well. But I've got to a point where I'm like, I want to make the right decision because I'm sick of making the wrong ones. And I'm at the point in my life where I can't keep making bad decisions. I've got to make the right one all round. Are you a procrastinator, Val?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. On certain things. Certain things I'm not. The older I get, I think a little bit more, the more I procrastinate.
Yeah.
I didn't used to as much before.
Yeah.
Now, if it's my work, the things that my things that I do as an artist, not so much. Life in general, yeah.
Keith comes up with a good point when he says he feels it's from fear. His procrastination is from fear of failure, and mine isn't from fear of failure. It's I don't want to make the wrong choice because I can't. If I make that big choice, I can't come back because my choice would be really big, really, really big. Like I want to leave, I want to emigrate. So I would give everything up in the UK, everything, and I'd leave it all behind. And it's a massive decision and choice at this age, massive choice at any age. But as you get older, you're like, what do I do? I've got a home here. If I give it up and sell it, I'm now going to be somewhere else. So there's all these choice, but I also keep thinking of that clock ticking, going, come on, what are you waiting for? Why are you procrastinating? Andrew writes, it might sound silly, but hobbies are a good distraction. I've tried. I heard on a podcast recently that women don't really have hobbies. Can each of you women tell me whether you have a hobby? We got asked a question, girls. Do we have a hobby? Carly, do you have a hobby?
Yeah, I love to disc golf, color, poetry, hiking. I like to do a lot of stuff. I like to do really anything outdoors, games, board games, video games. I have a lot of hobbies.
Val?
Yeah, I mean, one of my main hobbies is, I guess it's profitable hobby, I guess. is the epoxy and the jewelry making. So I guess it's kind of a mixed media artist type. I guess that's what you'd call it.
Would you say that's a hobby, or have you got anything else that you would class as a hobby?
No, I think it's mainly my hobbies are making things.
Mm.
You know, they always have been. I like to make things with my hands, and you know, whether it's painting furniture or painting a painting or doing the epoxy or the whatever. I always want to make something.
I mean, that's a good question, hobbies, because I mean, I have loads. Obviously, I'm massive into the history and past. So going to places like, you know, castles and visiting history and paranormal and the Impala and obviously Henry and there was all, you know, dancing and lots of kind of hobbies. But one thing I don't really do is take much time for me until recently when I went, you know what, it's okay to take time for you. It's okay to actually go, I'm not too well right now. I need to do this. The hardest thing for me is watching my parents getting older, because time is ticking on for all of us, and seeing our parents get older is, you know, I remember once had an ex-boyfriend and his mum sadly passed with cancer quite young, and he said to me, I don't envy you, because you're, you know, if you're lucky, you'll get to see your mum get older and age, and it's not nice, you know. And he was absolutely spot on, because watching your parents get older and age, you are reminded of how you're going to go, you know, where, you know, how you're going to go down. And so for me, you know, my parents are in their late 80s now, and my mum said to me something the other day which just broke me. She said, you know, we've just had an election for the mayor of London, who quite frankly we shouldn't have done because we got the same person. But my mum said to me, do you know what, Wendy, I didn't vote. And she goes, that was probably the last time I was ever going to vote, because I don't think I'll be here again in another couple of years. And I said, please don't say that. And she's like, no, it's a fact. I probably won't be here. She's got this own mortality of like that she's not going to be here. And I hope I'm as brave when I get to that age as well, because death terrifies me. And I think because we've had so much ill health, ladies, that all of us look at our lives as precious moments, and we're constantly fighting with a condition that goes, fuck you, right? Today you're going to feel like shit, or actually I'm going to put you on your back for 6 months, and what I'm really going to do is then add something else in, and you're kind of like, and so we're desperate. And that sounds a terrible word, but it's true. We're desperate to live a life. We're desperate to have a normal life that most people take for granted. And I mean this sincerely, you know, I'm saying it, but, you know, watching my parents getting older, seeing them brave, you know, they're the greatest. They come from the greatest generation out of the World War II generation. And in their time, they saw things like, you know, people being blown up, losing their friends and family, throwing themselves to the floor because the doodle bugs would come down. And if they didn't get on the floor, you know, you didn't know if it was going to land on you or not. My mum lived in a time when my granddad had 3 cyanide pills in a drawer, you know, in case that the Germans invaded Britain. So she lived in fear of that. And I think that when you look at these marvelous people in their ages that they are now, you go, I hope I'm like that. I hope I'm as brave and as amazing as that, because in their time, they are the greatest generation. Because when you look at the generation coming up behind us, and I'm not quite sure how it's going to go. And Val, I mean, because I'm going to come to you first, because your parents are similar age to mine. Do you feel that you're looking at your mum the same way?
In a lot of ways, I do. In certain ways, I think, and I hope I'm like that when I'm, in my 80s. But, on occasion, I do get that feeling like, you know, Mom is 80. I don't know how long I'm going to have her, how much longer I'm going to have her.
Yeah.
My aunt is 95. She lives with my mom. My mom takes care of her. So I hope that I am the same way my mom is. But I think the way life is, I think everybody kind of feels the same way. And as you get older, your body knows, and so does your mind, when it's getting closer to that time. And I think it gets you ready for it.
I don't know. I mean, like, what do you
I mean,
think?
you're 50, you're what, 52?
Well, yeah.
52, 53, something like
I'm
that.
sticking to it.
But I mean, when you're 80, you're going
Yeah,
to think totally different.
yeah.
And I think that's just the way we're made. We're made to, our bodies are made to live a certain amount of time. We're all different. I think our bodies know when that time is coming. And I think our bodies get ready. And I think that our minds get ready. Now, you may still be afraid,
Mhm.
but I think it's more a fear of the unknowing and not knowing what's coming. Fear of the unknown.
Carly, listening to us talk, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, like I definitely want to be in the position my mom is at her age, because she is in her 70s and still getting it with my brother doing lawn care.
Fantastic.
Physical labor all day. And I'm like, I couldn't even do that with as sick as I am.
Yeah.
So I already can't do what she's doing at her age. So maybe that's a good thing.
You look at them and you're like, my mum is, as I said, late 80s, and she literally is out there mowing the lawn and doing stuff, and I'm just like, oh my God. So she is very much an inspiration. But when your parents tell you all those things about, in my body, it might be in my 60s or 70s, but I still feel like I'm 25. It's true, because I don't know about you, Carly, but I still feel like I'm in my, I might feel in the body I am in now, and I might be a bit wiser, but I still feel like I'm young.
As do I. I often wonder, how did this even happen? My daughter's gonna be 10 this year.
I know. Wow.
What?
Yeah.
It's really hard to believe. I mean, you honestly do blink and years go by. So
Yeah.
cherishing every moment, living in the moment is so very important.
So why is it then we waste? And I'm going to come on to the relationship topic, because we've all got our story and I want to hear it. But why is it we waste so much time with a guy that we know, because our voice is telling us, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Leave, get out, end this. It's not going anywhere. And we just go, oh yeah, but it's okay, because it's only been like 3.5 years of this, and I've got plenty. Why do we do this? Why do we take time for granted? When we're in a relationship, Val, why do we do that?
Well, I don't think we realize we're doing that until after the fact.
Do you reckon?
I mean, I don't know how many times, I've looked back and thought, man, I've wasted so much. Why did I do that? But when you're in the moment, you don't feel like you're wasting it.
Yeah.
Whether it's staying because you think the kids, they need a home, they need stability, whether that's why you're staying, or if you truly think, oh, he's going to change, or she, in your mind, you're not wasting that time. As you get older and you look back on it, you think I was stupid, but at the time you don't see it that way. I don't think if we in the moment said, okay, I'm wasting my time, I don't think we would have stayed and wasted those years.
But now
But
we look at other
you're
people.
just blind to it at the time.
And we say it to them, don't we? We look at other people doing it. And we go, "You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time." And Carly, you probably.
But in their mind, they're not.
Do you see it, Carly, in your with your friends doing it? Like you go to them, what are you doing? Wasting your time. Are you saying that to them?
Oh yeah, I have friends that I try and help, and they come to me with their relationship problems and asking what they should do, and time and again, it's the same thing that their boyfriend, husband, whatever is hurting them with, and can only try and help and be there as much as you can, but it's up to them to make the decision of whether or not they're going to continue wasting their time on that person.
I mean, I had a conversation with somebody last weekend, and in fact, I had a couple of conversations, and I was talking to them about their relationships, and they were saying, I've given so many years, I've given waiting, I've given so many years in this relationship. It's got to come somewhere. It's got to be somewhere. I've got to get something from this. I can't be for nothing. I can't have given all these years for nothing, or I'm waiting this long. What if I give up now? What if I give up now and then they turn up, after I've given up, whatever the situation is. And what I said to one of them was, look, you're in a decade of your life where you've got to make the most of it, because if you don't, you're going to come out of that decade and you're going to be of another age where you're not going to be able to do things as much as you want. You're not going to be able to turn it around, because, everyone thinks if you're in your 60s, using this as an example, oh, it's all right, I'm only 60, 64 or whatever, 65. No, because in 10 years time, you're going to be 75. And although you'll have loads of time, hopefully still left to do things, your body and your health may not be in that predicament and your situation. And I think there's an urgency, certainly as you get older, as you start to get older, to go, I've got to make the most of these years. I've got to do it now. And you start, like, when you want to have kids as a woman and you hear the clock ticking, tick, 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 I want to have a baby. I want to have a baby. And, everyone says, oh, you got to have a baby when you're young, because when you get older, your eggs are all older and you're not going to have it. And I was 32 when actually Mother Nature suddenly went, I want you to have a baby. And I was up to 32. I never wanted children. And all of a sudden at 32, I was like, oh my God, I've got to get pregnant. I've got to get pregnant, desperate to get pregnant. It was all about getting pregnant. It was like, how do I get pregnant? Let's read the books. Let's get pregnant. Let's try this position. Let's do that position. Oh, that works. Nothing worked. And all I could hear was my sister was getting pregnant. My friends were getting pregnant. I was getting older, nothing was happening. And then I went to the hospital and they're like, well, we need to do some tests. And then, they put you on the waiting list for IVF at 35. They put me on the waiting list at 35. And 3 years later, at 38, they took me off it. And they said, yeah, we kind of made a mistake because we've left it too late. And you don't have you've only got 2% eggs left. And they're very, very small, and we don't think you're going to get pregnant. And we should have taken you off the list earlier, but we didn't. And so, those injections we're drugging you with to get pregnant, yeah, that's not going to work. So we need to stop. And they actually told me as I walked in the room, and the doctor said, no easy way how to say this, Mrs. Robertson, you're never going to get pregnant and you're never going to have children. So if I was you, I'd go out and get a life. And that's exactly what was said to me And I said, you can't say that to me, because if you say that to a woman, I'm likely to go and run under a bus or steal a child from somewhere. She said, well, some ladies aren't meant to have children, and you're sadly one of them. My life crushed at 35, and 38, because I was waiting to have a baby, waiting to be a mother. My time is coming. My time is coming. I saw everyone getting pregnant. It's my turn next. It's my turn. No, it never happened. And when I lost, apparently I used to get pregnant, and I didn't know I was pregnant. It would throw, I would lose it. When I lost my last pregnancy, or that I was told I was 41. And I lost it at 10 weeks. And they said, that's it. And what was my purpose as a woman? I'm not a mother. What's my purpose? And for years, it's haunted me that I'm never going to have grandchildren pictures. And, you ladies understand, because we never know if we're going to have grandchildren anyway. But my sister's got all these kids, and there's all these grandchildren turning up at my sister's life. And so what I'm saying is my time was taken from me. I was waiting and waiting and waiting for them to go, okay, we'll take you in now. We can get you pregnant. It was never going to happen. And so I have to live with that for the rest of my life. And the hospital, I could have sued over it, but what's the point? It wouldn't go anywhere. So for you, like, when I use this as an example, as a woman, we wait to get pregnant. We try not to get pregnant, and then menopause, it plays with us. And Carly, I mean, you're a mum. Val, you're a mum. Did you spend a lot of time trying not to get pregnant and then trying to get pregnant?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time trying not to get pregnant.
Okay.
And they had actually said that I wouldn't be able to get pregnant. So my daughter was actually a very pleasant surprise, because we didn't think that was even capable of happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, I spent a lot of time trying not to. More time not to than trying to.
Yeah. And Val?
Well, I think we all kind of spend that time trying not to, but it took me several months of timing and, temperature and all this, because I couldn't get pregnant for a long time. And I mean, come to find out, it was my endometriosis.
That was mine, yeah.
So when I had my surgery, within like a month, I got pregnant after my surgery. And then, when we decided to have another one, I was already pregnant. So I really didn't have to try on that one.
Women are given so much pressure these days, though, aren't we? To like, you've got to have a baby. You've got that time, that window. And, you see young girls getting pregnant really, really early, and you think, well, they'll have their family early. But older ladies desperately still want to get pregnant. And, and we have to go through this horrendous IVF and all that stuff. And believe me, it is horrendous. I mean, the drugs they pump you with, you actually feel like, you're going insane, because it's all of a sudden you've got all this stuff going through you. So I look back at that time as that time wasted. Yet again, another 3 years of my life wasted, waiting for someone to go, it's your turn. And I think that's what I'm trying to say. Like, in our lives right now, what are we waiting for to change, to actually be able to live the life we want to? And I know we're going to say our health, that's absolutely a given. But, Val, in your life, what do you feel you're waiting for to actually achieve the life you want to?
Well, see, that's the thing. I have a happy life. I do, what I love to do, but I still have that nagging feeling like I'm supposed to be doing something, and I don't know what. I guess that's what I'm waiting for, an answer to what am I supposed to be doing? A sign or a push in the right direction. Because I think of these things and I try to do those things, but it's still there. It's still, I still have that anxiety that, I'm waiting on something.
Yes.
Like, you know that feeling when you have a doctor's appointment the next morning, you have to get up really early. You know that feeling that you're going to oversleep. That's kind of that anxiety.
Yeah.
Like I wish I knew what I was supposed to do, because that's, I feel like that's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting for something to tell me what I'm supposed to be doing.
Carly?
My health is still just the number one issue. It's literally always causing the problems with everything and preventing me from doing and accomplishing things.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Because, when you've got something that you cannot control, that controls you for a period of time, you feel so helpless. What would you like to achieve, Carly? What do you feel like it's holding you back that you want to do?
Well, really, I would like to start up a nonprofit to help other special needs families, but I just never seem to have the energy to get to work and do all the mountains of paperwork that I have to do to establish it.
Yeah.
And health and time. If I were able to, like, if my daughter went to school and I had 8 hours, like most every other mom gets when their child goes to school to accomplish stuff, then that'd be different. But she's homeschooled and home with me 24/7, so I don't ever get a break.
Yes. And that's very difficult because you are mum 24/7 and you don't even get, like you say, like gonna go to school and etc. And stuff like that. Do you find that your time for yourself has become so precious now?
Absolutely. Precious now more than ever because I really don't have any. I've had to basically force myself into making some time because the days are constantly so busy. So I would just stay up later at night or wake up super early. And that was the way I was able to give myself some of that me time that I desperately needed throughout the day that I could never get.
Because if we don't take time for ourselves, we suffer. We start to feel all these horrible things. And I think I'm in the other way around, as in the fact that I live, I'm on my own, been on my own for a while. I find my life is going past and I would like to share my life with someone. I would like to share my life, make it count, am I going to ever have a family? Yeah, it's not going to be my family, but am I ever going to have a family? And is it ever going to happen? And you just think, like, I want to do it while I still feel well enough to do it, while I still can enjoy some stuff. Can I, so if I had time, what would I do? I would travel. I would travel. I would get my ass on a plane as much as I could, and if I afford it, and travel and I would emigrate tomorrow. I mean, that's still the gift, but and I would also like to have a business. I actually want a business where it's a business by women and we all make it happen, and I actually think that all of us have the skills to make it happen, but it's our health that stops us. And it's like, why? And you do think this, why was I given this? Why was I given this health? I didn't ask for it. None of us asked for our health conditions. And I know people say, but you did ask for it before you came down. It was in your karma, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, maybe it was. But I'm like, as the human being living in it every day.
But maybe that's what makes us who we are. So
keep my mouth shut. I'm not going to say, I want to do that next time. But do you not think that if there is an urgency, and Carly, do you have the urgency that Val and I talk about, that we feel like, I've got to do this, I've got to make it happen?
Yeah, I mean, I turned 36 this year, and it just, oh my gosh, I have to make so many things happen. I can't even believe that I've reached this age already.
And,
And as most of us, this was not where I expected or planned to be.
and there is something amazing what you've just said, because we are lucky that we have got to this age. Some people don't even make this age. You know, some lose their life very early, and some you know, my best friend was she was I was not my best friend in Canada, but my best friend in the UK a long time ago. She died at 38, and I remember, you know, it was just awful watching her go, and it's like she desperately wanted more time. And I think that as human beings, we do want more time. We want to make the most of our time, but we are constantly, you know, my sister has a very busy life. She has 4 children, 3 at home, and she's got fibromyalgia. She's juggling all the time. She's juggling. I look at her in amazement. She's like R2D2. And you know, I'm like, Penny, you don't sit down for 1 minute. You know, you're constantly on the go, and she needs someone to help her out and give her more help, but nobody does, you know, in the family. And she would desperately love more time to just sit on her bum, watch a movie, have her hair done, or do something. And I think that as women, there is quite a lot of pressure on us. I'm not saying there isn't on men, but there's a lot of women on us to keep the family home going, to hold a job down, to do the everything in the house, to do the children. Do you not feel that, ladies? Do you not feel there's a lot more pressure on women?
I do. I mean, there's very few women that actually have partners that will help them do all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
From me, I pretty much did all that stuff. My ex-husband worked and came home. That's, you know, kids and all that, and I worked. So, you know, it's I think we're seen as we're supposed to do that's our job.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I don't think a lot of men could do that what we do. What a wife and mother does. Now there's a few, don't get me wrong, you know, but I think we're made to do that. That's what we're made for. So as far as the children, that's what we're made for. So that's kind of instinct or natural. The rest of it, we're able to do it, but it would be nice to have someone help you not have to do that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know too many couples that kind of run the house, do the parenting, all that together. It's usually bigger part female. You know what I mean? That's just, I think that's one of the things is that's the way I was raised. So, you know, I guess it depends on where you're at, how old you are, and all that stuff.
What's your thoughts, Carly?
There's been so much going on now that I lost track of what the actual question was.
So, do you think as a woman, we have extra pressure on us and we have less time to ourselves because we are, in some ways, have an expectation to run the home, do the cooking, have a full-time job, be the mum? Do you feel there's a lot more pressure on us as women to do that?
Yeah, when you look at how society stereotypes it as a whole, of course, because the woman is now expected to work and come home and then cook and do the laundry and clean the house and keep the kids entertained and keep the husband entertained, while the husband usually just comes home and grabs a beer and chills, waits for dinner and goes to bed. So yeah, there's definitely a lot more pressure on women, especially since we decided to take on working, because now we not only have to work, we also have to do all of the household things as well.
And it can feel like our time is taken from us, can't it?
Yeah.
And we become resentful, do you think? Perhaps resentful?
At times, yeah.
I think some people do, to a farther degree than some of us. I mean, I think everybody, when you sit down and you're so exhausted from doing everything that you have to do during the day over and over every day, I mean, any normal human would have a little resentment. But when I look back on it, I'm thankful that I was able to do all that. I was able to get up, get my girls off to school, go to work, come home, pick them up, get them ready for school the next day, go to bed, do the same thing every day, and then have quality time on the weekends with them. I'm thankful that I was able to do that. I wish things had been better for them when they were younger, but at the time you're doing what you have to do, instead of what you want to do. You're doing what you have to do to survive and to teach your children and to raise them the way you want them to be. So, at the time you're working constantly on one thing or another, and you really don't see it as that, but that's really what you're doing.
Do you ever have people say to you, you haven't got time for me? You haven't got time for me. What? You're so busy, you don't have time for me. And you're like, and we've said it as well to other people as well, because the most important thing we can do in this planet is give our time to someone. That is our most precious commodity, is our time. And if we choose to give our time, like us ladies tonight, we choose to give our time, regardless of our health, regardless of our issues, we choose to give our time to be here on Wicked Women, to basically do a show so that someone, maybe now, 2 years, 6 months, whatever down the line, will watch this show and go, I get it. I needed to hear that. I needed to hear that, or they get something from it. We choose to do that. But I think also the point is, time is precious. Do not waste it, but we all do. But what I would actually say to you is, as a lady that's look back on her lifetime and gone, I wish I could change. I wish I could change that. I wish I could go back and change it. I wish I could go back and retake those steps, but I can't. Is the fact that we talk about being procrastinators, and what are we waiting for? Carly says quite rightly, I'm waiting for my health to just get better so I can actually do something. Val's like, I need to have I need someone to show me the direction. And so I know
just
where
general direction would be great. Just over that way,
and I'm waiting to make that decision because I'm scared to make the wrong decision. So we're procrastinating, we're wasting time, we're too scared, or we're too ill, or we're constantly juggling it around. And it's like, what can we do? What can we do to change our life slightly so that we do take control and have more time and do it? What do you think we could do?
I wish I knew the answer to that. Wendy, if I knew the answer to that, I wouldn't be talking about it right now.
Do you think that, Val, if you were to make a decision without being shown the path that you're meant to go on, that you'd actually probably be okay anyway?
Yeah, I think I'm not afraid of, doing something and it failing. That doesn't bother me. It used to. And now it's okay, well, I tried. Maybe that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. Maybe I can try this. And if that fails, then that's not what I'm supposed to be doing.
So would you say you're your own worst enemy?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it's you that's holding yourself back?
Sure.
Because although you got the house,
100%.
there's this procrastination of like, I want to be shown it. I want to go down there. And yes, it would be easier if we had that. Carly, obviously yours is, because I know your health right now is really, really chronic. And it's like, do you feel that you hold yourself back in any way though?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely my own worst enemy. My mind races. I think about all the possible outcomes of things before I'm going to attempt doing them. And then that makes me not want to do them and procrastinate them even more.
And if you did go ahead and do it anyway, like, just thought, I'm going to do it, do you think you'd be all right?
Yeah.
Do you think you'd handle it?
Yeah. It would make things better.
Because I think being the fact that we have chronic conditions, we are kind of warriors. I mean, we've been through hell and back. What could be out there, although I said that and it does, that could be worse than what we've actually been through in the previous years of our life, right? What has future time got for us? And I'm quite glad we don't know, because I don't want to know what's waiting down the line. I don't. I think for me, when I look at myself, I'm at that point where I need to make a decision, and I need to stop procrastinating, and I need to make that decision. And I've waited because of this reason, maybe my mom, maybe this, maybe that. And now I need to just go, fuck it. Right?
Well, I think we need to take the what ifs off the table.
100%.
Because if we took what if off the table, then we wouldn't sit and think, okay, I'm gonna start this and I'm gonna do this and this. Oh, but well, what if this one doesn't work? Or what if that one fails? If you take that what if off of there, you're just gonna do it. If it fails, it fails. Do something else.
That's a bit of a wisdom there for me, Val. I mean, let's give a bit of wisdom out for people who are procrastinating and going, but I don't know what what's words of wisdom can we give them, Carly? What can we give them?
I'm gonna have to say pass. I'm too sick to think straight.
No, if you want to do something, do it. If it fails, try it a different way. If you still want to do that thing, try it at a different angle.
Mm.
You'll never know until you do it.
Yeah.
If it's going to succeed or fail. And, if you never try it, you're always going to have that, what if I had done this? When I was younger, you think, okay, well, I always wanted to get on a plane and go to Scotland. I didn't. I got married, had kids, had a family.
Mm-hmm.
So I never made it. So when you get my age, you sit and you think, wonder what would have happened if I had done that. How would my life have changed? Would it have changed for the worse, for the better? But I can't go back and change that. So the older I get, it kind of takes that what if off of the table.
Keith comes up with, if something fails, we learn and have more experience for next time. Keith, you're always welcome to come on and join us. For me, I guess if I was to give anyone any advice about something, it's pros and cons. Write down everything left and right, pros and cons of it, what you can do, what you can't do, and also to realize that you do have a period of time. It's not expendable. It's sorry, what's the word I want to use? It's not you haven't got like unlimited. You've got a limited time to do things, and make the best decisions in the time that you can, because like one minute we're here, next minute we're gone, or the opportunities come. If they come, take them. But I also think as well that you must have time for yourself. Whatever you do in life, give yourself time to think about it, weigh up the decisions, pros and cons, but also like realizing that maybe you do need time to make a decision. Maybe you do need time to see, where you're coming from. I want to, thank you guys for coming on. There's so much further we could take this subject, but I'm aware that, it's a subject that's I want to carry on, but for a further time. I'm going to go to Afterglow, and I'm going to ask anyone if they want to come on and join us. Let's just take the lovely Keith thing out. And we'll go from there. And Carly and Val, bear with me 1 second, honey. And I'm going to put the link in here just in case anybody wants to come in and join us.
Now, I missed, you put up what JP said earlier. I missed it. So I don't know what he said.
You want to see what he said? Let me see. I've got to go back and find it.
So it was probably something incredibly deep and
he said, way to put your battle buddy, Val.
I don't know what that means.
Well, I put this reference up. And then he put this one up. So I actually have no idea. And Jason is not here to tell us. So I don't know.
Sorry, I don't get that one, JP. So I guess you got me.
I know, Keith, I'm sorry to hear that you're going through a lot right now. And we want to send you all our love, because losing your mum and your uncle, yeah, that really, really sucks. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Sending you all our love. And this must be a very difficult topic for you, because time is precious with our loved ones. And I think that's another thing I wanted to say is, like, make sure you spend as much time as you can with the people that you do love, because time is precious. And we always think, I'll call them tomorrow, I'll see them tomorrow. And actually we don't. Sometimes they're taken from us. And
there's nothing worse than that regret that you have when you're sitting there and they're gone, and you think, I just needed, I should have. Yeah. I should have went when I could.
And also, like, I also think there's a true saying, Carly, I think you probably agree with me. When you haven't spoken to someone for a long time, and you're like, I really need to talk to them. I really need to speak to them, but I haven't. And time's gone past, and people go, it's been too long now. It's been, too much time has gone. Do you think that's a true saying?
No, absolutely not. I have so many friends that, like my friend I actually talked to before the show, we haven't spoke on the actual phone, like, in probably over a year, and we've texted very minimally. We've both just had so much going on. We understand it, and whenever we get together or text or call, it's just we pick right back up where we left off, like no year or time has gone by. I have a lot of friends like that. I don't think that matters.
I wish I could rewind time to spend like time with people that are no longer here, and I can't, because I had a friend, Justin, he died very suddenly at 50, 51, 52. 1 minute he was here, next minute he was gone. And I think, God, all those things I never said to him, that I was really hoping that we were due to see each other and have a good conversation. And I was really wanting to see him, and I never did. And even though he might know it now, I can't say all those things. And, you know, when Henry died, I said everything I could that I wanted to say to him because I had to. And I think that's really important, that you send as much love and speak to them and, you know, give them as much time as you want, whether it's your sister, your friend, your mum, uncle.
And I don't think there's a time limit. I think, you know, there's certain friends of mine and even family I haven't spoken to in years, but I've noticed lately that if they pop into my head, I automatically message them.
I think sometimes when they pop in their head, there's a reason for it.
Exactly.
And it's kind of maybe Spirit's way of saying you need to contact them.
Exactly. So that's what I have started. You know, I can just be doing anything and someone will randomly pop in my head. And it's like I don't get a calm feeling until I message that person.
Cases is a country song. You always can till you can't.
Yeah.
And that's very, very true. And I think that, as I said, if there's any advice to anybody, is make every single day count. Even if you're looking after yourself, make the day count for you. And if other people take your time from you and abuse your time and waste your time, I think you have to have a really good look at yourself and go, I need to stop this. I need to change, because I'm not having any quality time, and we all deserve that, whether it's a relationship or a friendship or, God help, family. Wicked Women is not going to be here next Sunday. We are taking a break next Sunday. We will probably be back. We won't be here on the 12th. We may be back if the girls can all come together on the 15th of May, which is a Wednesday, or we might come back on the 19th, but we will be definitely around that week.
I know this month is kind of
screwy. And
yeah.
We will not be here on the 26th. So the 12th and the 26th, we will not be here. Probably will be here on the 19th. But we'll try and get a show in between that. You know, I take my hat off to you lovely ladies, you know, and myself. And I'm always giving credit to everyone else. And I need to give credit to me as well. Note to self, love oneself. We do come on here and we do our best, and we try and give you a good show. Sometimes we have to take the time off because we're not well or life is busy for us. And we appreciate the support of everybody that comes on and watches and comes back and watches. And I've been watching some of our shows from the last year and, you know, watching those ratings going up, and you're thinking people are now watching what we did a year ago and enjoying that. So I actually think that we're making a difference.
Sure we are. I mean, and even if it's just for, you know, making a difference to one or two people, you know, I don't care if, you know, if a million people don't see it. If it affects one or two people and makes them feel better, then it's totally worth it.
Well, the news about, I mean, when you have YouTube and stuff, it's out there forever. I mean, like, we're going to look like this forever. And it's
good. God help me.
We were looking fabulous, right?
Lord help me.
Speaking
of time, I am making the clocks, so I will have them on my Facebook page.
Yes, you were talking about the clocks. I did see that.
Yeah.
Did you see it, Carly?
Yes, those are so cool.
But I've been making frogs, clocks. I've got new things to make the wall clocks. Not just the mantle clocks, but the wall clocks as well. So
thank you so much, Kelly. We hope that we make.
Thank you, Kelly Bell.
Because it means enough. Like all the ladies, let me tell you, all the ladies that have come on, and I'm obviously like, we're the three original, and it's like we can't always come on because we like to do a professional show. We like to look good. We like to be in our best, and sometimes we're not because we have our own issues. And it's like we're particularly keen on keeping it, looking as good as it is, and it
And
takes work.
sometimes I just have to come on looking like this.
You look
And then
amazing.
y'all just have to deal.
What are you on about, woman? You look
Gorgeous.
amazing.
Menopause kicking my butt.
She come on, and they both came on, and I was like, you look amazing. And I think it's the fact that we are reaching the people that we are, and we have got a great little community. We do have a great little
absolutely
community. And we do try to promote. Here we go, and we can all do. Carly, Scotty Roberts, tell them about Scotty Roberts' show.
Tell them about it.
Yeah, what day is it on? Do you remember?
No, actually, I don't. Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays.
Yeah. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, Central Standard Time.
It is 9 o'clock on Intrepid Radio and YouTube. Scotty Roberts, and he comes up with some amazing subjects. I'm like, did he just cover that?
When it pops up there, I'm like, okay, I hadn't thought of that one.
Here we go. And also Tuesday, I will be back on Tuesday, all being well this week. I'm not sure, but all being well, I should be with Roberts and Robertson on Tuesday at 10 o'clock UK time. I got to get this right. 4 o'clock Eastern and 5 o'clock Central. Is that right?
Opposite.
5 Eastern, 4 Central.
You got it. But 10 o'clock UK. And then, Val, are you doing a show this week?
I'm doing my best to do a show. I was too busy to do one yesterday, but I will be doing a show Saturday night at 7 o'clock. Myths, Legends, and the Paranormal.
Tell them about Ken, Val.
Ken, morning coffee with KB every morning, 9 o'clock. Unless he has that appointment or something. He always puts a banner out. More than likely, it's Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock every morning.
And let me tell you, Carly, if you've ever seen Ken's show, he only gets 4 guests on, right? We keep trying to get him to YouTube because he can have more guests, but he only has 4 on. And they always, sometimes they're lovely, but sometimes they have a dig about the women. And we just have to go on and dig them back. And we need you on there sometimes, Carly, to give a bit of a dig back.
I'll come on.
On Ken's show on Monday to Friday.
He likes to stir that shit pot every morning.
Oh, yeah. He gets the spoon out and he's like, I'm Dr. Love.
And I'm telling you, once he gets on a roll, he will not stop.
Absolutely. And sometimes wicked women, we get the brunt. We get the brunt of it. He really does go on about wicked women.
I have permanent tire marks on my back.
So
I've been through under the bus so many times.
I think he needs a bit of Carly on there because she'd sort him out, right?
I'll bring it.
I don't know that anybody can sort KB out. I'm truly I've tried for many, many years. I don't
love
think
is my middle name. What was it? I bring the love, he says.
Anything is his middle name.
He goes on there with Terry and he brings the love and he says, oh, come on, I have all this love to give you and this is how you treat me. And it's like, no, Ken, you're a shit stirrer.
He's full of shit.
So yeah, Kenny's on Monday to Friday on Facebook and you can find him under Ken Ballos, The Castle by the Roadside. I will not be here next week, another All Wicked Women, because I'm actually at a convention, a Comic-Con, actually. I'm actually going to take the Impala to a Comic-Con and it's going to be amazing. And Jason Momoa is going to be there. So
give him a big old sloppy wet kiss.
I'm actually hoping that me and Jason manage to have a bit of time together, even if it's just really short, because he's a fine-looking man, right?
Yes.
He's a very big, fine-looking man. And they got Richard Armitage, who was I think he's in The Hobbit. He's kind of cute. And Richard Dean Anderson and lots of other famous things. And I have to say, I was so sad to see that the famous actor Bernard Hill died today, who was the captain in the film Titanic, and he was also in Lord of the Rings as King. Was it King Theod, something like that? He died today, and he was due to be at Liverpool Comic Con, and he actually went there Friday and had to leave, and he died today. So remembering him. So hopefully on my Comic Con next week, it's going to be amazing. I'm going to be there with Mark. God help us both, because it's going to be full on, but I won't be here. So you've all got a break next week, ladies. You can all go and chill out and put all your stuff on and chill out.
You enjoy yourself. I want to hear all about it. Take lots of pictures.
I mean, you know, grab a bun for me, you know, if you can.
Jason,
A little pat, anything, you know.
When they told me Jason Momoa was going to be there, I was like, this is a joke, right? He's Hollywood. Jason Momoa, they were like, no, he's part of Stargate Atlantis. He's coming on. And so, I mean, he's a very fine looking man. I mean, Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones, Aquaman. I'm just like, oh my God. And I'm just going to be like, you know, I'm just going to have to do my little trick. And I'm trying to get my little pen, which is, you get your pen, you put it down your top like this, and then you go, as they go past, you go, Jason, and he goes, what? Could you sign my car? And he's like, of course I can. And the next thing you know, he signed it. So the pen lives in the boobs, and it works.
I love it.
That's how I got, you know, basically I walked around with the pen, and when they came out, they were like, and I was like, would you sign my car? And he was just like, of course I will. I was very lucky. I was very lucky. So hopefully Jason will do me proud, and I will know. So I'll be exhausted next Sunday because I'm on my feet for quite a few days. So it will be very,
no doubt.
So it's only so much swooning you can do, you know, and cleavage popping when he's trying.
Well, you know, he's really tall, so he can look down. So you'd be all right.
You know, if I actually get a chance to meet him, and I'm going to have to ask him to speak some, is it Valerian to me or whatever, like Khal Drogo, like, because when he was in Game of Thrones and he spoke in that, with the accent that he does, I was like, what? You know,
you need to ask him to be on Wicked Women is what you need to do.
You know what? I could ask him that.
Hello.
Oh my goodness. I could ask any of them, actually. You know, we need to get cards made out for Wicked Women.
I was just going to say that.
And then just give them out to everybody and go.
Yeah.
And I think I'll get it designed done. And then,
I mean, I have mugs coming.
Yeah.
When they get here, I'll post them.
And we want to do magnets and key rings, but that would be really good.
And I'm going to do some magnets and key rings. So,
would you mind? It might be hard to stick down here, but you know, like, would you?
It could look like a license plate. And if he was coming, I would try to stick it. I mean,
hang on a minute, Jace. It's coming. It's coming. I'm trying to bring it out.
It would be like.
I actually like.
He would remember it.
I might actually do that. I might actually say, Jason, we'll have a podcast. Would you appear on it? He might say, well, how much are you going to pay me? And I'd be like, we'll be forever grateful.
I mean, you know, we can barter.
I don't care. You know, at the end of the day, he's going to be at the hotel. He's actually at the hotel on Saturday, and he's going to have so much security around him. And you have to really be nice to the security staff, and you have to say to them, and you go, can you get me a minute with Jason? And they go like, we're going to bring him out here. This is how we met them last time. They were like, we're going to bring him out here. So make sure that you're here. And then you just go, and they go, oh my God. So it will be, I think they've got, I'm going to have to bring this up because I don't actually remember it all, but Basingstoke Comic Con is a new one. It's been going just for a year, and it was a success last year. It was a supernatural one. This time it's supernatural and Stargate SG1. They have this, the lovely Jason Momoa, Richard Armitage, Richard Dean Anderson, Rhys Darby, the Hillywood Show, if anyone knows who that is, Brad Wrights, Amanda Tapping. Now she's a beautiful woman from Stargate. Joe Flanagan, and who's this lovely gentleman down here? I'm trying to bring him up. Mitch, I think if I'm pronouncing this right, Mitch Pileggi, who people would know from the X-Files, as well as Supernatural and Stargate as well. And they also have down here Kim Rhodes, Ruth Connell,
Kim.
Gil McKinney, and there's quite a few of them. There's a guy of Kristen Nairn, and I'm sure he was in Game of Thrones, and he was Hodor. I'm sure that's him.
I haven't watched Game of Thrones.
You need to watch.
I can't find it anywhere.
What?
No, it's only on like HBO, isn't it?
I don't know, but I've looked everywhere and I can't find it anywhere. So
What
sad.
about Amazon? Is it not on Amazon?
Haven't found it.
Wow. Oh my God, you need to. This is what you do. You get the box set. You shut everyone out. And you know, I mean, Sean Bean, I've got to be honest, Sean Bean, I wouldn't say chuck Sean Bean out anytime soon. I know he dies and everything. And then Lord of the Rings is Faramir. I mean, well, yes, I mean, do you like Sean Bean, ladies?
I don't know.
Who he is.
Yeah, you don't know Sean Bean? Like, have you seen Game of Thrones, right?
I watched a little, yeah.
He was Ned Stark.
I don't remember who they were. It was that long ago.
Why is it certain men get better looking as they age?
He is. Yeah, I like him pretty good. Yeah.
Sean Bean is so hot. So me and Jason next week. Yeah, it's happening. It's me and Momoa. And the thing is, I never thought in a million years I would ever meet Jason Momoa. And I've had a crush on him since.
Well, I mean, name dropping is not bad.
I mean, he's pretty
Well,
hot.
wicked women.
I'm going to be like, as I'm taking my pen slowly out, Jason, I actually do a podcast called Wicked Women 888. You can find us on YouTube. We'd love you to come on it. He'd be like, sure, send me the link.
Sure, write me a check for $50 million.
Exactly. Why don't you check us out? You might like us,
Like, happy to see you, buddy. Sorry about that.
And isn't he single right now? I think he's
no idea.
Just saying.
I'd trade. I don't care if he's single or not.
Poor Jason.
Just putting that out there.
If he ever watches the show, we're big fans, really. So next week I will not be here. Wicked won't be here. We will be back the following week on the 19th. If we can do one on the 15th, we'll do what we can. But if not, we've all got lives, We've all got lives, regardless what the men tend to think of us.
And guys, if you will watch my Facebook page, I am going to start just posting what I've made.
Yeah.
So
cool.
See different things.
As I said, I need to get this Comic Con out of the way because I've already got the Wicked Women 888.com. So we've already got that, and as I said, promos of each of the women that have been on, and the accessories as well, because people just need a bit of Wicked in their life. It's
Absolutely. And I am going to be making some keychains and some.
I won't be happy.
I guess little magnets
wearing us till they're wearing us.
Exactly.
On the top, or they've got a thong on underneath with a bit of Wicked on it. We will. Who knows? We could even make our own bob if we wanted to. There's nothing stopping us. On that note, ladies, I'm going to say good night and good evening from yourselves. Val, thank you so much.
Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you, my loves. Anything you ladies would like to say before we end the show?
Thank you, everybody, for coming in and watching us. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe and share us with anybody you think might like us.
Please do.
And make
Carly?
sure to cherish every moment. Live in the present. Don't live in your phones. Don't live in the past. Take a break, unplug, go outside, enjoy.
Absolutely, because you never know when it's your last day or your last moment, and make
Right.
every moment count, even the down times.
Yeah.
Make even the down times count, because you know what, that you're long term gone, you're long term dead, so you might as well make the most of it. Thank you so much for being here. Take care of yourselves and each other. Be kind to each other, and we will see you all next time on Wicked Women. Good night.